The film opens with our lead, Sharon, being chased by some cloaked cultists in a carnival. She's herded to the carousel where Sharon's dark side, named Alessa, appears, now morphed into a separate entity. She warns Sharon to stay away from Silent Hill and wakes her up. Sharon finds her father comforting her, who gets slashed open by a demon. She realizes that's a dream too, and wakes up to doodle stuff she remembers from the dream. The next day, we find through her conversation with her father that they're constantly running and changing identities. Sharon's new name is Heather, whereas the father's is Harry. He gives her a jacket as an early birthday present and sends her to school. Left alone, Harry tears Sharon's new drawings of Silent Hill and hides them in a wooden box. He then sees a flashback of when he last spoke to his wife, Rose. Rose appears as a mirror reflection to notify that she has gotten permanently stuck in Silent Hill, a haunted virtual reality where she went to rescue Sharon. She sent Sharon to the real world, so she begs Harry to guard her, as Silent Hill will try to get her back. Harry finds Sharon on the couch, confused about her experience. He lies to her about being in an accident, which killed her mother. Traumatized, she drops a broken piece of the seal. Rose told Harry about going missing from Silent Hill. In the present, Sharon walks up to the school bus. She watches a beggar turn into a faceless creature like the ones she sees in her dreams. She becomes startled and nearly gets run over by a car. Simultaneously, a clingy stranger starts following her. On her first day, the teacher asks Sharon, among other new students, to introduce themselves. She bluntly tells everyone she isn't here to make friends. Later, Sharon walks through the school hallway, which projects a bullying scene from her childhood and turns into a demon's den. As she panics, she's shaken back to reality by a new student, Vincent, who's curious to hang out with her, but she ignores him. When she steps outside the school, she finds the stranger lingering, so she returns inside and reports her father. He plans on meeting her at a fast food spot, but gets abducted. While Sharon waits for Harry at the fast food place, her reality collides with Silent Hill's memories, and she starts seeing gruesome activities happening around. She runs into the kitchen and becomes disgusted to see the butcher cutting human flesh to feed the customers. She runs in the basement, where she's cornered by the stranger who's been stalking her. He introduces himself as Douglas, who's been recruited by the Order of Valtiel from Silent Hill to find her. Douglas relays that the cult has trapped her mother and wants Sharon back to fulfill some weird prophecy of theirs. Finding it hard to believe, Sharon confesses that the reason she keeps changing identities along with her father is because he told her the police hold him accountable for her mother's murder. The Valtiel sends their demon to hunt Douglas before he exposes them. It has a blade for an arm, using which it cuts off Douglas's fingers and later plucks him from the elevator. Left alone, Sharon runs for her life and hides in the janitorial space. When a janitor walks in, she mistakes him for a supernatural entity and runs away, only to discover the FBI surrounding the mall she was in. They've discovered Douglas's body and the information he was carrying about Sharon. They also find Sharon's jacket from the crime scene, which Sharon witnesses from the crowd. Vincent strangely pops up and offers to walk her home. On her way, Sharon watches the cult lingering over a bridge, but Vincent doesn't see them.
You have 10 seconds to get more snacks and like the video. You shouldn't play with terror.
When they take the subway train, Sharon tells Vincent about the virtual reality and how she's tethered to it. When she returns home, she finds her father missing, and a note written with blood on the wall, telling her to come to Silent Hill. Perplexed, she opens the wooden box where Harry hid her drawings. She finds a letter addressed to her, which she keeps. She also finds the broken piece from the seal she brought from Silent Hill when she got stuck there. The police show up to investigate Douglas's case, so she runs away with Vincent in their car. She reads the letter, which turns out to be an elaborate confession from Harry, revealing he's been hiding her from the cult of Silent Hill and killing the people they send to get her. He makes her aware of never getting tempted by them and going to Silent Hill. Attached to the letter are years of Harry's research on the demonic creatures that exist in Silent Hill, so Sharon can protect herself from them once he's dead. It also holds a newspaper cutout reporting on Alessa's reign of terror and chaos in Silent Hill, who remains undefeated by the cult. Vincent stops by the nearest motel to spend the night. When Sharon sleeps, she sees the younger Alessa spreading her fear in Silent Hill. She wakes up and takes it as a sign to go there and look for her father. Vincent prevents her from doing such a thing and exposes himself as the child of the cult, born and bred in Silent Hill. To prove his authenticity, he lifts his shirt and shows the cult's symbol he's branded with. He's been told since birth that Alessa captured the people in Silent Hill, including Sharon. They know the only reason to take her down is to get her merged with Sharon, so her evil side can be suppressed within the goodness of Sharon. Willing to help her, he gives Sharon the location of the sanctuary where her father is being kept, under the supervision of his mother, Claudia. In order to get in Silent Hill, they must find the second half of the seal Sharon brought from there in her childhood. Suddenly, the reality shifts, and the motel room starts to melt down. Vincent panics and blames her for starting this. He quickly gives her an address of someone named Leonard, who owns the second half of the seal. The demon appears once again and takes Vincent away and renders Sharon unconscious. Soon she wakes up in the same motel room with one half of the seal and a gun. When she takes a stroll outside, she finds herself in the foggy Silent Hill. On the empty roads, she comes across Dahlia, Alessa's real mother. Sharon recognizes her and insults her for doing what she did to her daughter. She owns up to her mistake and admits that she was deceived by the cult, who told her Alessa was special. They burnt her, but she only grew powerful enough to make a new dimension, Silent Hill, to exist in. There was a little good side in her underneath all the hate and agony, so she transferred it into an infant and delivered her to an orphanage, from where she got adopted. This indicates how Sharon came into being. Dahlia advises Sharon to stay indoors to be safe, so Sharon walks into a rundown place where someone is collecting mannequins. Sharon spots a girl turning into one of the mannequins, suggesting the piles of mannequins were all once real humans. She also rescues a girl trapped in slimy gunk, which prompts a spider-like creature to jump on them. While it breaks the newest mannequin's head, Sharon and the girl escape. Sharon exits the place successfully, but the girl is devoured by the creature. Scenes cut to the cult sanctuary, where Vincent is presented to Claudia for his recent doings. Harry is also spotted tied up and unconscious in the background. Claudia declares Vincent crazy for helping Sharon and admits her to an asylum. Contrary to them, Sharon also comes around the asylum. She snoops around and finds Leonard's files. Before she can flee with them, a hybrid human ambushes her. She shoots him dead and makes her way to the chamber, where she finds Leonard chained like an animal. He discloses that his own daughter, Claudia, blinded him and chained him here. When Sharon tells him about the one half of the seal, Leonard tells her the seal helps show the reality of things, and using the seal, a girl was sent back into the real world many years ago, who was none other than Sharon. He tricks Sharon into handing him the one half and claims he's the second half. However, this turns out to be a lie when he merges the seal with him to become a grotesque monster. Sharon shoots him multiple times, but it doesn't work. At last, she scoops the seal out of his body, which turns him into dust, and completes the seal. She tries to contact Alessa, but the locked-up prisoners begin choking her from their doors. Alessa sends her executioner, Pyramid Head, to rescue her. He cuts off the patient's limbs and leaves Sharon be. While attempting to exit, Sharon comes across a torture chamber where blind nurses are seen operating on patients, including Vincent. Despite being mortified, Sharon helps distract the nurses and rescue Vincent. The nurses detect noise and attack accordingly, but they shield themselves and run away from there. Vincent reveals Harry is kept in the sanctuary under the carnival area and takes her there. The masked cultists follow them.
Not really. We call them the Brethren, the most devout servants of the Order. See the masks?
Due to which Vincent gets separated from her. Sharon experiences everything she saw in her nightmare in the beginning. A cultist captures her, but she kills him by taking off his mask and runs towards the carousel, where both versions of Alessa await her. She burns the cultists around them and starts engulfing Sharon. Sharon kills her with kindness and absorbs her within herself. She later finds herself in the sanctuary, where Claudia has decided to sacrifice Harry and feed his blood to Sharon, so the new god can take birth in her. Sharon quickly hands Claudia the seal to see her reality. Claudia turns into the demon who's been killing everyone. There, Alessa's executioner arrives and fights Claudia until she's dead. Sharon now has the opportunity to return to reality with Vincent and Harry, but Harry decides to stay behind and look for Rose. Vincent and Sharon get back in reality and hitch a ride. As another prisoner vehicle is escorted by the police to Silent Hill, the film ends.
Like, share with friends, and subscribe to Free Terror TV.